What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Who All Gonna Be There podcast, the place where you get to be an exclusive member of our very entertaining group chat. And this is another very special episode. I know we had our special Thanksgiving, Friendsgiving episode with our LNC crew, but we have another special episode because we have a very special guest, one of my good friends. You may know him as the king of cosplay, the leader of the Blurs. Or maybe from that one Survivor season that they added on Netflix, but none other than Davie Rickenbacker. Davie, welcome to our group chat. What's up? How you doing?
What's up, guys? And it's actually pronounced Rickenbacker, but I won't hold you against. But yeah, man, I'm thank you guys for having me on the podcast today. It's been a long time coming. I've been talking about Eric about getting on this thing and finally got the invite. So we at the end of the year, and I'm ready to chat it up with you guys.
Sounds like a nice way to wrap up our year, huh?
Right?
I think so.
And some Black excellence. Come on.
Yes,
absolutely.
Yeah.
He did all right on his little season or whatever. I mean, but yeah, so we're here to talk Survivor, this last episode, and anything Survivor related and whatnot. So coming off this last episode, we had a blindside with Noelle going home, and so we're dealing with the fallout come this episode. And you have Sammy immediately lying his behind off. I don't who voted for I didn't vote for Carla. Maybe it was Gabler. And they're like, and Jesse was quickly, no, Gabler did not do it. He was with us.
Because look, one thing Gabler not gonna do is lie. He don't care.
Right.
Exactly.
Put that on the wrong person.
and the made it worse is he backtracked. He's like, oh well, I've already lied too much in the game. I might as well just tell the truth. So yeah, I did do it. And everybody knows once you tell a lie, you got to go with it. You cannot backtrack. And I'm sure you can attest to that, Davie. Why?
I can attest to that. And I think with Sammy, he's been trying to play up this I'm older than what I am for so long that he doesn't have a lot of life experience.
He don't. He's showing his age.
He don't know how to lie in a corporate setting like we might.
Corporate setting.
Exactly. No.
So he's only had to test that with high school.
Exactly. And I love that because I'm like, for me, if they would have been killed, I'm like, no, and I'm standing 10 toes down on it. I don't know who did it.
Y'all figure it out.
Listen, I would have been minding my business trying to look for a coconut.
Exactly. And I think you tweeted too. You were like, why do people focus so much on who voted for who in the first place?
It's irrelevant now. They gone.
Of course, I got a lot of responses to this, and they say that it's just a construct of maybe super fans because they've been watching for so long that they think that there's a specific way that you're supposed to play the game. But we've seen time and time again that there's no exact way to play the game. As long as you can plead your case at Final Tribal Council, I think that that's the best way to go. Like, you don't have to, let's say that I didn't vote right every single round. I'm still, the saying of Survivor is outwit, outlast, outplay. I still outlasted everyone.
Listen,
hello.
Ain't that the goal?
Exactly. So it's like, I don't get why they put so much emphasis on that, and they need to stop.
And it's crazy because it's like, it happens in Big Brother too, our little show, as you like to call it. These people,
our little show.
That's how I be acting sometimes. People get hung up on who voted for me. You still here, aren't you?
Right.
That's the blessing. Like, you're still here. You've lived to fight another day. Let's move on. And I think that's what messes a lot of people up because they get sidetracked based on trying to find out who did what and when and why. And it's just like, don't worry about that. Just push forward, make it to the next day, and then the next day, till you get to Final Tribal.
Exactly.
And so that wasn't the only person getting thrown under the bus. Gabler throws Cody and Jesse under the bus. He tells Owen immediately, oh, they came to me at the last second and they flipped the vote. And I had to pull Owen aside and be the first one to talk to him. And I got it in his notes, and I've said it multiple times. Kiki has said it, and I'm on the bandwagon. Gabler gonna mess around and win this game.
Why do they keep overlooking this man? Like he ain't been doing nothing.
I like watching players like Gabler.
Yep.
I like those wild card players. And I'm a little biased on favorite players this season because Owen was at my finals casting call in Survivor, and Jesse reached out to me when he was denied for Survivor. So I kind of have a little bit of a relationship with them too.
Mm-hmm.
But excluding them, Gabler is my favorite. Maybe not my favorite to win, but my favorite to freaking watch on
because he's actually playing the game.
Yeah,
and you can tell watching Gabler play, he could absolutely care less about anybody on that island. He could care less about Jeff. He could care less about a coconut, a fish. He don't care.
Mm-hmm.
He just said, I'm going to do anything I can to win. And that is interesting to watch.
Exactly. They're forgetting that he's a freaking physician. He gonna take his way on up there, okay?
Yep.
I'm saying, and he mentioned it like, and I love like he's one of the few that has like told us his strategy, or at least has articulated it a little bit. He's like, well, he just chilling on the little log. Well, we didn't have a whole blind side, and nobody's even targeting me, and so I'm over here chilling, and so I'm gonna do what I do best, and I'm gonna sit in this middle, and I'm gonna go where I need to go and vote where I need to vote, and keep going and trucking along. And I'm like, yeah, like he's playing the game that Sammy thought he was playing.
Right.
You know what? You're right.
And because Sammy was like, oh, I've been playing the middle, and it kind of caught back up with me. And I'm like,
running your mouth too much. That's why.
Exactly. Like
and so that happens. And so then we move to Owen's segment. And I don't know if you've heard us say it, but we don't care about sob stories over here.
Really? I'm there.
Like, I don't want to hear none of it. Put that in the first episode.
Right.
Like, I get it if it plays into your strategy for that day or something. Like, I use my story, so I get that, okay. But we don't have to reiterate this every week. Come on, we trying to see some gameplay.
I don't even remember what it was this time. What was it?
Well, so with Owen, it was the pity party. He was, they're all ganging up on me, and I just don't know what else to do. And I'm just, first of all, Owen, he was one of my favorite starting. But I was like, nobody's actually coming for you, Owen. The only person that would ever really said your name was James. You just keep getting attached to the people that keep going out, but nobody is literally like, oh, we need to get Owen out. And he's like, they're all coming for me.
And that's what sprouted my tweet about voting the right way. When he was like talking to Gabriel, and he was like, you can take me. I mean, I haven't even voted right. I'm like,
right.
Like, what? Come on.
Maybe that was his strategy, though. Maybe that was his strategy just to say that to Gabler. So Gabler thinks in his mind that
hopefully
about that. And then Owen gets there and just goes ham at problems.
That's possible, because what clicked for me, and like again, as a therapist by trade, like with school and what that's what I go to school for, I immediately caught when he's like, I'm gonna lose anyway. You might just take me to final tribal council. Hold on.
Yeah.
You ain't slick.
Who said all that?
Right.
I was like, I'm just trying to clue you in. I didn't say I'll take you to the end.
I would have slid that in there too. Implant that in their brain. Shoot, might as well.
So you may be onto something in terms of him playing that up. But yeah, we moved to the Sammy and his little sob story. So it was talking, oh, my mom's the letter she wrote, and I know she's proud of me, and all of this. I'm just like, I just don't care.
Cool.
And I wish they would just fast forward it.
And you know what? That discourages people from applying, because some people feel like, if I don't have a sob story,
what's the point of going on?
I can't even. Honestly, that's where I was at one point. I was like, they're not gonna be me. I don't have a sob story, but I guess I was unique enough for them to get. But yeah, man, they need to move away from that. Maybe they should have done that for one season. Maybe they don't have themes anymore and experiment.
We can do a season of sob stories. Oh God, the way I wouldn't watch that.
We half watching it now.
Right.
No, because here's the deal. It's like, yeah, like it's great. It's ooey gooey, whatever. But like, I think you made up a great point, Davey. Is like it would discourage people, because I'm like looking back. I'm like, I don't really have. Like, yeah, we've all experienced life, right? Like, so we all have a story to tell in some sense, but it's like all these horrific or tragic stories, like some of these people have had, and people they've lost. It's just like,
I just with that.
Exactly.
Y'all would have been mad at me because I would have been making up stories.
Oh, you know what?
I would have got that check, and they would have been like, "Oh, Trees, tell us about the story." I made it up, and they're like, "What?" I said, "It's $1 million, bro."
You know what? In the casting process,
they would never ask me back.
Right. In the casting process, make them stories
baby,
up.
make them cry, get some tears rolling. I got some stories for you.
Goodness.
First of all, these casting teams, mostly white people, they don't know.
Nope.
They don't
They don't know the real
style
struggle
of a black female, black male.
Exactly.
You can lie a little bit and get away.
Exactly. Because they won't sympathize with the story that I really want to tell.
Exactly.
So let me give y'all something that y'all really gonna want to put on TV.
And embellish it a little bit.
There
Sprinkle
you go.
some parsley on it.
There you go. Sprinkle a little salt and pepper on it.
Yeah, that's all they know anyway. But again, and it's crazy too, like you mentioned, like, and we say this all the time because our podcast we focus on uplifting Black voices, focusing on the Black experience and how Black players are in reality TV and these shows, or just in gym shows in general, how we're portrayed. And so going back, as we've said it again, diversity is great in the cast, but if the people behind the camera lens aren't also diversified and inclusive, we are going to get the same issues and the same stories being showed. The same format is going to be the same.
Yep.
And so, I mean, as someone who's been on the show, how does the edit? With the edit now and what we see? How are you feeling with how things have panned out?
I'm trying to think specifically for the Black players that have been in it because we don't have any more left.
They go, bro. Look.
Well, look, I don't know if y'all know this or not, but Sammy got something in him.
He Moroccan.
Sure what it is?
Dang, we had looked it up too.
His dad's Moroccan, I think he said.
I said that too. I said look at her. He got a little shadow on it. Right. He might not know, but I know.
Right. But no, I have to give them their props because they are progressing. You would have never seen us hearing stories about Owen being an adoptive Asian kid from white parents if it was the 20s or the 30s. We would never heard anything like that. So showcasing stories like that is very important because the target market of this show is white audiences.
Yeah.
Bryce always brings up a good point, Bryce from the Purple Pants podcast, on how what if these people at home watching only have these images of Asian people or Black people on the show and they go off of that. That could be the difference of someone, saving their life or someone not getting killed based on the representation that a Davie or a Owen.
Very true.
So all of this stuff is pertinent when it comes to storytelling for life-changing reasons.
I agree with that.
Absolutely. And again, it just goes back again how representation matters. And I talk about this in my classroom with my students. And I know it seems trivial about why does it matter to have more people of color or more marginalized groups of people shown? And it's like what you just mentioned, it could save somebody's life down the road because we don't know where a lot of people live, and what they see on TV is all they know of these certain people in these demographics and these marginalized groups of people, or what they hear on the news. And so to have these great people represent who they are, their cultures, their identities, so proudly, and do it with grace and ease, is like, this is what it's about. So these shows, yes, it's a competition show, but it has the ability to impact on such a larger scale. And so I think that's the beauty in shows like this.
And you know what? I want to say one more thing, and this is not really related to the game, but I like, again, how they have been showing the cultures on these people. Like, I think Carla had on a traditional, and forgive me if I'm calling the wrong ethnicity, a traditional Mexican garment as her, what she wears out there. I think, what's the guy from season 41, Danny's season? Start with an N, right? Nasir.
Oh, Nasir.
Oh, I love Nasir.
He had his garment on. I love that Survivor. That's one element I would never thought of.
You can't edit that out.
Culture and allowing them to wear that. We're gonna see a real do-rag out there one of these days.
Listen, it's on the way.
Because the one thing I would do is have my do-rag on.
Baby, my bonnet would be out there on full fledged. Are we about to get in the water?
My idol would be right up in there.
Listen, somewhere tied up in these braids, be hiding.
I'm trying to tell you. Fun fact with the Carla thing, I was in a spaces with her, Sheena's actually, one night, and she said they made her wear that. because she wasn't going to at first. And they were like, no, we think you should wear it. And she was like, okay. And so now, like, obviously in hindsight, she's like, I'm glad that I did it. And I felt so much empowerment from doing it. And
I'm glad she said that, because I was definitely about to side eye.
Yeah.
Not y'all trying
I got plenty of side
eyes. Not you trying to force the culture out. Let me do it on my
own. They would do it. Look, I had to wear a freaking cardigan. I'm not a guy that wears cardigans. They wanted me to fit a certain mold. I came out of that once I got on the island.
Oh, we saw.
They know what they're doing. Right,
he got out there swinging sticks and yelling into the ocean.
Come on now.
But no, so I'm glad that she did opt to go ahead and do it because it was impactful for her. But moving on, so we have in the same space after the whole Owen thing and Sammy reading his letter, he's over here trying to make amends, I guess, but he's starting these fires really quickly, and everybody's eyes are raising. They're like, bro, it's good fires. And then here Cody said it out loud. I probably would have said it too. Oh, we know who we not taking to the fire making challenge. I'm like, sir, after you just got exposed, why would you be showcasing a unique ability to start fire when you know that's a key component?
Sound like he ready to go home.
It sounds like, right, that's what it sounds like.
You maybe I would have been struggling. I don't know what's going on, yeah.
So it's like, what are you doing? He's like, yeah, I just gotta get focused and set my chin up, put my shoulders back, and that made me think. I was like, he getting ready to sing "I'm Here" from The Color Purple, put his shoulders back, and I'm like, okay, like what you know about the "I'm Here" because that's part of the song. I'm gonna push my shoulders back, look him straight in the eye. So I'm like, he getting ready to sing a song, but Lord. I'm just like, that was just. And I was just so disappointed in his gameplay because I just wasn't expecting him to, because he was doing so well up until last week. And so after we move that and we find out who's lying, he goes and lies to Carla. And he's like, oh, yeah, Cass said your name first. And Carla, me thinking as well as she's played up until these last 2 weeks, she didn't went down a peg for me when she didn't tell James about the whole thing, because I don't know what your opinions are on that, and you can talk about it after I say this.
Okay.
But the fact that she took it hook, line, and sinker, I'm like, Carla, what are you doing?
Threw that name up there quick.
And she believed him. And then when Cassie tried to come up to her and was like, oh, just before Sammy tried to, throw my name under the bus because I know he's a liar. Let me let you know right now, I'm not turning against you. And she was like, I don't know. I can't trust her. I'm just going to go along with it. I'm like, Carla, what are you doing? So go ahead, Dave.
Let me defend Carla a little bit.
Don't do too much.
It really does take a toll on you being out there starving and being sleep deprived. Your mind really does do this crazy thing where you're not as secure in yourself as you were in day one. So even though the game is not as long as it used to be, I can still see how some of that can play on her and how she might believe that and the mistrust, because she's already in the back of her mind thinking, why the hell did I tell Cassidy about this idol? And of course, Sammy doesn't know that, but good on him throwing that out there. And, it kind of just all worked out for him to where he believed him. So I got to defend her a little bit there, but, when it goes back to the episodes before and how she kind of just one thing about Carla is she will not stay loyal to her allies. And
listen, and won't.
That might be the thing that takes her to final tribal council. And we'll see if those players respect that. Or we'll see if those players are offended. That's all, if she makes it, that's all a part of the game. But I was a little upset, but James was making me mad here and there too. So
Oh no, I had to put him on black. Like in one of our episodes, I'm like, he's gonna have to take some responsibility because, and we've said it before, you can never discount anybody in these games. I don't care if they're on the outs. I don't care if you feel like they're not good at comps, if they're not good socially. Nobody should ever be discounted. And I mentioned this on the pod. He mismanaged his relationship with Owen completely.
Oh my God, and Owen, you're safe. Owen, you're safe. You're good.
You're good.
You didn't have to do all that.
Why? There was no need for that. And so he mismanaged that relationship, and it cost him a little bit, because I give most blame, though, just a little bit for Carla, because like I said, she could have warned him ahead of time. And from your perspective, you've been out there. I don't know if it was a good game decision or not. I personally think it's going to come back to Hunter. So even if she does make it to final tribal council, who's to say that it won't come back up? Like, didn't I tell you that James was going home and you didn't save him? Because at me as a juror, I may have been wanting to vote for you, but if I find out that you could have saved me and I'm supposed to be your number one and you let me go home,
I'm sorry, I'd be voting petty. I'd be like, oh, really? That's a bit. So I really just wonder if she makes it to the end, like if she gonna own up to it. So it's like, is somebody else gonna bring it up before you, or that's gonna be the real test?
And even then, depending on how long it's been, she could tell me, you know, the meme, oh, that's good for you, baby. Oh, you did that for a reason. I was just trying to make it fun. Oh, that's good for you, baby. I'm still not voting for you.
I better like, y'all hear something?
Right. Oh, that's nice. It did me no good. I'm still over here and you're over there, and we could have been there together. We both could have been getting some money, but you decided. So we'll see. So I've been side-eyeing her since then. So yeah, she bought the whole cast was coming for her thing. Didn't quite like that, but it is what it is. I get it. The paranoia is running rampant, and so I understand it. I do. Then they're all looking at the sunrise. I don't understand. I didn't really care for that. It was beautiful, but a waste of time.
Cameraman production probably told him to go out on the beach.
Yeah, everybody go look.
They were all lined up. They were all, you know, on the. Oh,
yeah. How perfect was that shot?
Do you see it? And it's like, come on. And so the boat comes and they get off, and they get a note. There's boat mail, and they're told there's an advantage. Just go get it. And so they all take off.
Yeah, dare I say it? This is the most excited I've been this season. That little moment right there.
Listen, cool. I was like, okay, hold on, we got something going on here.
Yeah,
right.
And everybody ain't trying to sneak and look. Everybody like, nah, we about to try to find this.
Exactly. But then it got anticlimactic because they all started walking past. Like,
maybe they hit the thing too good.
Maybe. I know I can't see because I got glasses for our viewers. But it's like, y'all really they were literally, it was behind them. You telling me you didn't think to look at the tree behind you? You over here, you walking past it, you touching it. And it had multiple people. It wasn't just one person. It was multiple people walking back, like literally
by the same tree.
I wonder where this thing
right beside it.
I wonder, and just resting on it. I wonder. I can't believe y'all really could.
Look, let me go on into my own horn for a little bit, because on my season I found 2 idols and 1 advantage. So on Twitter I saw, and I don't know how many people watch y'all podcast, so I don't want to get in trouble, but I'm gonna just say it. On Twitter I saw Dalton Ross say something like, "Future Survivor players, just look where the cameraman's pointing the camera." And then
listen,
came to his defense, and he was like, came against it in his offense, and he was like, it's easy for you to say that, but they really do mess with you and point the camera different places.
I'm looking at where Ollie pointing it.
Now, while Rick is correct, he's also, they are not the smartest when it comes to doing that. You got to be paying attention to those cameramen. I'll tell you a small, quick story of how I found my first idol. I found my first idol without the cameraman around. And that made them realize Davie's a serious threat. We got to be following Davie around, blah, blah, blah. Like, I literally had to reenact my first idol finding. So if you go back and watch.
So you found it and they weren't even on you.
That's acting, yeah.
Come on, actor.
Now I'm about to go back and rewatch that clip, man.
And so then the second time I found my idol, it was because the cameraman stayed on me. So they basically gave it away because they knew Davie was an idol finder. And I just noticed them pointing it in a certain direction.
You like, hold on, what y'all look to the left for?
And then I slept out there in the woods one night, and that cameraman did not leave my side. I was like, hey, why are you not leaving me?
Okay. Yeah, that means something out here.
Right. And as soon as the sun rose, I got up, looked to my left.
He did.
Bam.
He got up as soon as that sun was. Yeah, man. Wow, that's interesting to know. Wow.
Yeah, you got to be paying attention to production, and be nice to production, because they may not voluntarily say they gonna help you,
but they be helping.
They gonna help you.
Because I'm like, I know some people, if they, like you said, if they like it, they may be like, What are you asking you questions? What pointing the camera over here? You don't look over there a little bit.
Right.
So, David, what do you think about?
Right.
I mean,
what that tree? Don't it look a little different than the other tree?
Don't you want a coconut? You know what I think I do. I don't know why I keep set on this coconut.
I'm gonna sip my tea on that
one. So wow. So yeah, I mean, it was funny to watching them all just pass the thing up, and maybe it was the tiredness and the fatigue and dehydrate and the starvation that it just allowed it to blend in, because they all passed it up, and then lo and behold, I'm not a fan of Cody. So I was like, of course, out of everybody to find it, this one, the one
I said, I know you lying.
He finds the darn advantage, and
I knew it was gonna be him.
This new advantage, or it's new to me because I haven't seen all the seasons of Survivor. I'm not a super fan. But the choose your champion. I don't know if they've ever done that before or not in all these other seasons, but he wins it. He finds it. Okay, so he finds it and he reads it. So they give him the details of the immunity challenge, and so he has the opportunity to win immunity twice, meaning he can either win it himself or he can gamble or guess who he think would win, and if he guesses correctly, then he will also be safe at the next tribal council. And so he writes down who he thinks is going to win based off the people left, and then we get to the challenge. And I seen you tweet about it, and I've said it before. I feel like we've said it before. Why are you forcing these people to tell what
I was so upset.
Go on up here, tell Jeff what you got, and
like, why wouldn't you say that after the come on, can you give us a little shocker? Like, right. Okay, we the audience, we know, but like, I want everybody to be like,
exactly. So
missed opportunity.
The fact that they made him, and they said, and make sure you turn this into Jeff when you get on up to the thing. And so
like he a kindergarten. Come on.
It was just, I was trying to make sense of that. The only way I could make sense of it is because I can't make sense of it.
It just wasn't logical. Oh yeah, by the way, we found the person. Like, come on, why did you wait? It would have been so much more shocking to do that at the council.
And not only that, but if after the challenge and you're one of what's his name, Cody's allies, and they're trying to get it out of you, and he's saying, "No, I'm not going to tell you." That's
drama.
Trust on his part, so that's kind of not fair to him as a player. So I didn't like that.
Yeah, and I was just like, okay. Well, I mean, I didn't mind it because it was Cody. I'm like, why you didn't keep nothing secret? But in the grand scheme of things, I think it's just flat out stupid. And it goes back to those. Go ahead, Trace.
Oh, go ahead. You what you're saying.
I was gonna say, like, it just goes back to how, like, when they were doing the immunity idol phrases and stuff, it's like, what part, or even the beads, and it's like, why can't people keep what they have a secret? Let it be their choice. And that's why, once again, and we've said it again, why we appreciated Marianne keeping her idol secret, why we appreciated you keeping your idol secret when you found yours. And it's like, that is what it's about. Keep your mouth closed. Tiffany Mitchell said you catch more fish when the mouth is open. So if your mouth is open, you're running your mouth, you're going to get caught up somewhere. So if you learn to hush and be quiet, things tend to work out in your favor. Or you get more information that way, and things pan out better for you when you keep those idols a secret. And we've seen when you open your mouth about these advantages, I don't know about what it is, but the knowledge is power, but it should be called the mouth is power, because all they do is run their mouth when they get it. And it's like, what is the point of having this all powerful thing and you tell people?
Yeah.
And so I hate that we're in this era. Again, I say we, like I've been watching all these years. I started in the new era.
Right, though.
We getting in there.
It's a new era thing where they want to tell everybody. I don't know what that is. I don't know if it's the fact that the 50% BIPOC clause, they have done some recruiting, and sometimes I don't know if sometimes I think they deliberately cast certain people who haven't really watched the show.
Oh yeah.
Certain people who haven't really watched the show.
For sure.
They want them to fail.
Yep.
But they're still meeting their quota for
exactly.
Because and I know there's controversy with this player, but even like I love Marianne and I'm so glad she won. But obviously, based on the edit and stuff, I was rooting for Drea. Like Drea was my girl. Like Drea was collecting these beads and these advantages and these idols like it was Christmas, okay? And
baby. She was collecting them like Infinity Stones. Like, come on, let's go.
And she, I mean, decked out like she was Survivor rich. Like, I ain't never seen nobody have that many different advantages all at one time. And she ruined it when she opened her mouth, ran her mouth to Omar. Or Omer, I'm sorry. I said that man's name wrong all the time. Omer. And I'm just like, Drea, your intuition has been spot. I ain't never seen nobody's intuition be so
production probably pushed it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to blame it on.
Had to. Because I'm like, how do you go from you sitting there, what they all walking? Something ain't right. They over there talking, and they were talking about you. So you knew to use your idol. Oh, you saw such and such going over there, and you knew they were working together. Your intuition was on point, and then you get to this point in the game, final 7, you want to tell somebody about the biggest advantage that cost you the game? Nah. Yeah. So yeah, learn to keep your mouth shut. If you play in Survivor, for our listeners and viewers, go back to that way. Please take a page out of Davie and Marianne's book and be quiet when you find your idol.
Yes, they're gonna have to.
So we get to this challenge, the last gasp. Everybody used to call Davie. I want y'all to know, we're going on record. Davie called this "Don't breathe" or "Do." What did you say?
No. Let me explain. Now I don't know how old y'all are, but there used to be a show called My Brother and Me on Nickelodeon way back when. Y'all ever heard of My Brother and Me?
My Brother and Me. No, I ain't heard of that one.
Oh, y'all young as hell.
Wait, how old are you? Y'all about the same age.
We'll talk about that off air.
That means we close in age.
So on that show, there was a character who had a saying, "Don't hold your breath." So I was saying it was a play on words. Don't hold your breath.
Okay.
You've heard that phrase before, right?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. I've heard the phrase. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm like, nah, he thought I thought it was called "Don't hold your breath." I'm like, no, that's what they're supposed to do. Cause
not "Don't hold your breath."
So the last gasp, I guess, is the official name for the challenge, where they have to go under these metal grates and hold on for dear life. And when the tide is coming in, and they just have to breathe as best they can, hold their breath as long as they can when the tide is fluctuating in and out. And I've only seen it done once. It's because we did a rewind, segment where we went back and watched all of Micronesia, and that was our first time seeing it. So this is the second time I've seen this challenge done. And as wild as it, this season has been pretty stale to us. I don't know if it's been like that for you, Davie.
Like I said, my most exciting moment was when we did that race for the idol. So we're here.
Yep.
Yeah. So I will say I was very impressed with how well they did in this challenge. I mean, we had a few people. Gabriel dropped out like a fly. Then
I thought he was going to be in it toward the end, though, honestly.
Davie, not Davie. Sammy surprised me. I thought he would have lasted a little bit longer. But he was out very quickly.
The women were showing up because I was like, "Oh, look at y'all holding on." Okay,
absolutely. Yep. And so after Gabler's gone, after Sammy's gone, then Jesse's out of it, and then so it's down to 4. And I'm thinking, oh, here go Hawaii, Surfer Hawaii boy Cody. He gonna win another challenge. I don't understand. He's been in the final 2 and actually won one. And ain't nobody looking at him as a target. But then he finally gets out.
I was like,
he kept ducking under and like, he's still under the water, so he's still in. He's still in. As long as he's under the water. Right. And I'm like, what is it? How is that helping you to keep going under the water and then go? Anyway,
yeah, he's panicking.
He was, and he got up on out of there after that second round. So he got out.
Well, I have a question, Davie. I'm gonna ask you this question. Okay, one thing that's been bothering me this season, and it last night it played a role. Do y'all be like Jeff? Just
zip it.
Like he be.
Let me tell you,
he be just. And you know what? Even last night on the last guest, and I was like, "Do you realize he's warning them that a tide's on the way?" And I was like, "Why you think they've been out there for 3 hours? Let them experience." Oh, there comes another tide. Jeff, be quiet. I'm trying to see them struggle a little bit.
Well, one trick of the trade is when you don't see the camera on Jeff and he's saying those words, sometimes it's a voiceover and they just went back.
Oh, okay. We was wondering that because we was like, do they do a voiceover? We literally talked about that an episode or 2 ago because it's just like, I know he is not hollering this much.
Right.
Because last episode. Okay, go ahead. I'll talk about last
episode.
But
Jeff is a pain in the ass in the
He do be talking.
And I'm gonna tell you why people don't giving backlash a lot there is because Jeff, he lays his hands down on those challenges. He expresses his authority to us. Like Jeff will cut us the fuck out.
Oh,
Jeff
I can see some unedited.
trembling, not wanting to get embarrassed on national TV.
Mm-hmm.
I remember one time, Natalie from my season.
Yes.
We had a challenge and Natalie didn't win the challenge, but she didn't lose the challenge. She came in second place, and the prize was pastries. And she said, "Well, Jeff, I think we need to get a few pastries because we had a puddle in the beginning of our challenge, and that was unfair."
I heard her saying that.
I know she said it too. I love her.
Jeff goes, "Let me be perfectly fucking clear." I was like, "Oh my God." And this was our first time seeing him.
Be like, now I'm charging. Oh.
Look, if we thought that puddle was a goddamn problem in this challenge,
oh my God,
have won that challenge. Like he went the fuck.
Oh, and I bet he smiled afterwards. He was like,
God, and all of us, even Natalie didn't say nothing back. So
right.
that tell y'all that's why people don't.
Jeff don't be playing. I be wondering because I would have been like, Jeff, if you don't shut your behind up, like, let me do the comp.
Last episode and again, maybe this was it was editing after the fact. Oh, look at Carla and Kat. They on their way. They just need one chip. Oh, they dropped. I'm like, well, if you shut your mouth,
like maybe we'll be in this thing. Okay.
So that is wild.
That's interesting. We were wondering that. I was like, it got to be some voiceover because why is they doing all this and like Jeff, just be for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot.
That exactly.
Make more sense. Okay,
but I know in the back of her head, she's like, "You better like we on this island and not in real life because you got the wrong one. You think I'll be cussing me out like that?" Right. Oh goodness!
You say that, but then they would have used that on television. And yeah, it's a completely different vibe when you got 100 cameramen staring at you. You nervous? It's different, man.
Yeah,
it's an experience.
Whew, that's good insight to have because that's been one of our hugest pet peeves with Jeff. Although he is, I do love the fact that he's messy. That was one of the things that
he's definitely messy
when we started because season 41 was our very first season to watch, and so my first, I'm sitting in tribal council, like this man is messy. I love it. So to hear that he got this little dark streak in him where he just rules with an iron fist for these challenges, that's funny. And so yeah, we're at the finals. We have Carla, Cassidy, and Owen left, and then Cassidy eventually falls out, and so it's down to Carla and Owen. And Davie, with absolutely no sense, he says, "I'm putting you on Front Street." He says, "Carla has that Tolacan in
baby," indeed.
I didn't get no likes on that tweet, and I was like,
"For real."
That was golden for me. Right. I saw that and it was hollering. And not too long after that, Jeff was like, "Well, this has never happened before. The tide is actually going down. The players have outlasted," not that face. You're going to have to explain this face that Davie's making for our listeners. "The tide, you have beat the tide, so we're making an unprecedented decision. You both will win immunity. You both will be safe from Final Tribal Council because the challenge is officially over."
I would have been like, "Let me see who can hold their breath the longest. Go."
Right.
I'm messy. I would just be like, ain't no two winners. Let me see what you can do. Go.
You put the words right out of my mouth. There should not have been. This is the new. What happened to the new era of being harder and hungrier?
Yep.
The monster. Where was the monster, Jeff?
Yep.
We needed the monster right there.
Exactly. He like, oh yeah,
look. They done told him to cool it down. Like, all right, Jeff, you can't be doing all this now. The contestants are scared.
Exactly. The only thing I'll say is maybe they thought it was a hazard and somebody would have literally tried to drown themselves.
Oh, probably. So many people crazy.
They'd be revived or something like that. But you already got the risk down there in the first place. So
listen.
Yeah. So they make history. They outlasted the challenge. And Carla and both Owen are both safe from tribal council from being voted off. And so we don't know what we do because Cody tells us before we get to tribal that he's also safe because he bet on Owen to win. So we have 3 out of 7 people who are completely safe. How you knew to put Owen?
Listen.
And so honestly, I think I would have voted Owen too. Not gonna lie. I think I would have said Owen
really?
too. Yeah, I think I would have too. I think so.
I probably would have been wrong. I would have gone with
I probably would have said Cody.
Yep, I would have went with
Yeah, Cody probably would have been my vote.
That for me, that would have been an obvious choice. I would have think, oh, that's obvious.
Yeah.
But we see that sometimes people, even though they're good at certain stuff, they still don't win the stuff that they're supposed to be good at. So I'm like, I think I would have just said Owen, because a lot of that challenge is also how well are you under pressure and panic.
Did he know the comp before he picked the person? Yes. Okay, I didn't remember. Okay, because I'm gonna say, what are you supposed to do with that? Okay.
Yeah, so I think that helped. Like not knowing the before, like the challenge before, then that would have been a little bit harder. I think so. Yeah. Again, what happened to this being harder? Why are you giving him a preview of what the challenge is gonna be? Is it really gambling at that point? So they're all back at camp. 3 people are saved: Carla, Owen, and Cody, and they're trying to figure out who's gonna be the target. And so Carla sits down and she's like, y'all gonna hate me, but I think I need to get out Cassidy, my only ally in this game, because I told her about my idol and I don't want this to come back. And I'm like, sis, Jesse already know you got one. He clocked you a few episodes ago. I don't know if you know that or not. And if people are speculating, I got me talking like Big D now, speculating. If people are speculating and suspecting, see, I just kind of combined those 2 words together, that you have an idol, 9 times out of 10 plus 1, they know you have an idol. Okay. So she's like, I need to get her out because I don't want her to tell anybody that I have an idol and mess up my game. And so she goes to Sammy. I know you're probably not going to believe me, but we're going to do Cassidy. He's like, I'll take whatever lifeline I can get. I don't know if you're telling me the truth, but yeah, let's go do Cassidy. She goes to Jesse. It's going to be Cassidy. We're going to do Cassidy. And Jesse is like, oh, okay, cool. And yeah, let's do that. And he talks to Cody. Cody's all for it. And then he's like, let's not do that. I think the better option is let's take out Sammy still because he's too good at fire and he's a liar. We can't trust him. And we're going to not tell Carla. So she still votes out Cassidy to drive a wedge between them. Brilliant plan.
Which surprised me. I didn't think Cody was a high thinker like that. I mean, you gotta give him some props.
That's a good plan.
That was Jesse's plan. That was Jesse's.
You're right. Okay, that was Jesse's plan. But I didn't expect
Cody to fall for, like, go up under.
You know, I expected him to be a yes man. I didn't expect him to be like, no, I ain't gonna do that. You know?
Yeah. Same. And so I was like, this is going to be interesting to see how it pans out but Cody pushed back. He was like, I don't trust Cassidy. I think we need to get her out. Sammy, yeah, he's good at fire. But he sucks at the challenge. He's always the first one out. And I think he's not somebody we need to worry about. And we kind of speculated this last episode. We brought up the point that Sammy could potentially go far in the game because he is a flip-flopper, because people know that, oh, I could potentially use him, flip him to my side, and that may well work in his favor. But when you have people like Jesse who are looking ahead of the game and not just day to day, Jesse's like, I don't want nobody to be able to do that. I don't want anybody to be able to pull in his number later on down the game. So where it could have been a strength for him against players like Jesse who are always thinking and who was controlling the game, because there's without a doubt in my mind that Jesse is running the show at this point. And so Jesse's like, not about to happen. I'm cutting this off and I'm gonna make Carla look dumb. He actually said that. I was like, oh, that's kind of hard. He's like, I want her to look dumb. I said, oh,
right.
It's like that. And so that's his plan. And so him and Cody kind of have, a little back and forth. So we're not sure where Cody's gonna go with it. And we have Carla and Sammy and Cody saying Cassidy. Gabler is going to go, and this is why I said I feel like I wrote this in my notes, that Gabler may be Jesse's downfall, because in the midst of him talking about this plan, he's like, oh, Gabler's just, I don't know why his head is not in the game. His head is definitely in the game. And the fact that you don't think it is, that's going to be a problem for you later on, because he definitely has clocked you and Cody's power duo, and he's definitely told multiple people about it. So he's more aware in this game than you give him credit for. And there you go. And so I was like, that was my only downside for Jesse with that. And so we go to tribal, not really knowing if Cassidy is going to be the one, or they're going to do Sammy, and Carla's going to look like a fool because she's going to be the one to vote her out. But Sammy, and this is why I feel maybe, and you can talk about this since you've been there, you have to listen to what people are saying in this tribal council. And I know it's hours, apparently. I don't know what y'all got to talk about for hours, but apparently y'all's tribal councils be hours long. And so he just starts talking and running, and his age is showing again. So I'm sure he gets nervous based off Jeff's questioning. And so he just starts talking. He's like, if I need to play my shot in the dark, I'm gonna play the shot in the dark. And I'm glad Carla, I guess I'll give her a little grace because I seen her perk up and was like, so you just gonna do that even though there's a plan in place and you're supposed to be trusting people, and so you're just gonna just throw it. You throw
caught on to that.
Exactly, because I'm like, I hope you don't still go in there and vote Cassie like a dummy, because this man just already told you that he ain't doing
like,
it.
if the vote is said, what you using your one shot for?
Exactly.
Yep.
And so when it did come down to it, she did have some sense enough to not vote out Cassidy, and so they all did eventually vote out Sammy, cutting his time short, and so he was out. But it just, again, you have to pay attention to these are things I'm listening to. I'm always listening. What are people? Why are you so sure? Because then when Jeff, what is your rating? How do you feel about? Excuse me.
He loved to do
that. If you feel like, sorry, gotta come trying. They don't want me to talk, and so he always asks on a scale of 1 to 10, like, how confident are you that something's gonna work out? And if you telling me 8 and 9 and 10, and I'm not really working with you, something ain't right.
I would have said 10, Jeff, every time.
So I do. I mean, I agree with you guys a little here, but I do have to give Sammy his props because I think that he did the shot in the dark the right way. I mean, even if Carla would have not voted for him, his ass still would have went home. So he had to play his cards the way he had to play them. Honestly,
if he wasn't feeling safe,
I think that Carla didn't play her poker face too well at that point. She should not have responded the way that she did.
Nope.
She should have internalized that and then vocalized it in the voting booth. She didn't have to say it out loud to Jeff, and that's where Jeff is good at this stuff. He knows how to make
he be pulling it out of you.
Okay. But no, I gotta give Sammy a little props here. He might have been the first person to play their shot in the dark. Right. I don't want to say correctly, but the way that it should have in order to increase his chancing of
because why are you pulling the shot in the dark and there's 12 of y'all left?
Right. No.
Yeah.
And so it's like it didn't make sense. But I'll agree. Like he did go out swinging, like he did whatever he could, because that was one of my questions. I was like, okay, so say the fact that he did a shot in the dark. Had he been safe, that would have been excellent for him. They would have had to done a revote, is my understanding.
Yeah, they would have had to done a revote, and he would have had to vocalize. Does everyone want to keep their same vote? And if they kept their same vote after the second voting, then they would go to rocks.
Yeah. So I'm trying to figure out like who would they, because there would have been 4 people safe at that point, right? So only Jesse, Gabler would have been option, or in Cassidy, they would have been 3 options.
That's it.
Now that would have been interesting. That would have made for some good. They should have went in his scroll.
That was drama.
Yeah.
That's what I would. If I'm I might would have just slipped him in a safe scroll just to see what was gonna happen, because that would have been good. Because if somehow they were like, out of these options, do we really want to take out Cassidy at this point? Because she's not. And then looking at Gabler and the information that he may have, this could have been, because then they would start talking in a live talking tribal council, and they would have got people talking, throwing folks under the bus even more, and it would have got messy. It's what we've been missing, and so it was sad to see Sammy go again, because he was my winner pick based off how things have been, how he had been playing. I don't know if you have a winner pick yet. Do you have a winner pick?
Like I said, I'm so biased because I know these guys that I don't want to pick a winner, and I feel like talking to them, some clues lead me to some things, and I think that deters what
are those clues, Davie?
But I read into these things.
We're gonna talk.
Like with Marianne. Marianne was amazing in
baby. She plays so well.
I'm talking about even behind the scenes. Like, I thought Marianne was gonna be out of there. The way
I thought Marianne was gonna be like second, third boot on the pool. I said, "Oh, you still here, sis?"
She did not giving that away. So babe, I'm wrong. I have been after my season. I knew the winner for 38, 39, and 40, and I said going into 41s, I kind of want to be surprised. So I'm with you guys on this.
Is there word out there who the winner is?
No.
Because baby, I've been I'm a spoiler. I love to be spoiled, and I've been looking, and I have not found anything yet.
Walking Dead, yeah. I used to be addicted to spoilers. I have recovered, so don't make me.
I'm still in it. I'm still in the trenches.
It's wild because going from last season where we had the winner, the whole season pegged out from jump, which I don't know how that happened, and we can talk about that off air how if you know how that happened or not. But we were just basically looking at our thing like we're gonna see if it happened, and then boom.
Yeah, because I didn't believe it.
This person went home. This person went literally to the T, very in the placements, everything. Wow. And so that's why we were looking at this boot order. We were like, how did they get Dre at 7? How did they get Omer at 6? How did Jonathan make to 4? Marianne ended up at the how did this happen? And so we were just so confused and we didn't think it was true. But as things started to pan out, we were like, wow, this is really how it works. Yeah. But in closing and wrapping it up, final thoughts about this season, any particular players, anything that stood out?
Y'all, I don't know what it is that this season is missing, honestly. It's
drama. Ain't no drama.
And you know what? I think that's Survivor's fall. I don't want to call it a fall, but they have tried to move away from casting villains.
That's what I love to watch.
But you know what? It's people fault like Byyyeee Twitter because of that. Because not Byyyeee Twitter only, but because they be fucking trying to ruin these people's lives.
Oh yeah, I mean we crazy. I'm not as crazy as them, but we crazy.
Those fans, bro, terrible.
Yes, and they don't want people. They don't want
no backlash. That's what they're scared of.
They don't want people to be pitted as villains, and then they get paid, and then somebody commits suicide or something like that. So it goes all the way down to all of that. But
we just need a season where everybody's a villain. So we gotta pick somebody. I want everybody to be cutthroat. Every single player.
Ooh, that would be a blood.
No loyalty, nothing.
None.
Oh, I would love to watch that.
Actual real villains.
Yeah, play the game.
But other than that, the gameplay's there. This will be a Survivor super fans wet dream because they like all of this playing stuff where we kind of want to see a little more drama, but they like the technical. So that's why I see it's half and half with certain people. But I'm gonna tell you this, y'all. I know the people from Survivor 44. You're gonna be impressed.
Oh, okay. We gonna see.
You're gonna like 44 because
we gonna see.
Are we gonna shine?
Okay.
they a good time.
Okay.
Good.
We gonna hold you to that. Because I'm like, I know Davie said that this season
we're gonna have to bring you back for the premiere or something, or halfway through the season.
Oh yeah.
Bring back now. I'm probably gonna be hosting my own watch party because 2 of them live in Atlanta. So
okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that'll be a dope meetup.
Nice.
We might have to get everybody here. We might have to do a little group chat. Yeah, let's do it. Talk about the show sometime.
Yes, because I got questions. I still got questions from this season I need to be answered from a couple of people. So I'm we will be looking forward to that season 44 in high anticipation because we need it coming off of this season.
For sure.
Before we close, Davie, tell our listeners and viewers where they can find you. I know you have the Christmas thing going on, so tell them about that as well.
Yes, this is perfect timing, guys. So
Merry Christmas.
If you have any any listeners in Atlanta, I'm having a watch party next Wednesday at the Hot Dog Factory. It's free, so you can come in, but I would like to ask if you could bring a toy. I do a toy drive every year. I partner with a organization called Hosea Helps, and we give these toys out to the community here in Atlanta. So yeah, come on out. It may not be packed. It's just my little Christmas thing where I get the toys, but it'll be a good time.
That's sweet.
You can follow me on the socials at I am Davie on Instagram. I tweet Davie at Twitter. Survivor Davie on TikTok. I'm like the only person in the world that has a different one for each.
I was gonna say I need you to get this cohesive next year.
And what's the last one? Oh, are people plugging their what's the new app? Because
plug it.
What new app?
Hive. You can follow me on Hive at iHive Y'all
good night.
No,
I don't know what Hive is. We late.
iHive. Good night.
See, look, y'all better go on and make y'all a Hive account because that's how I was with all these other ones. I wait.
Listen, late.
Get on it right now.
I'm too old. I don't need no more apps.
Oh my goodness,
man, I'm old. I'm old. My knees hurt doing this podcast.
But thank you guys for having me on the podcast today, and hopefully I hear you in a few minutes with where I'm going next.
Oh, for sure.
Well, thank you again for stopping by and being our special guest. We definitely love to have you back. We will have you back. It was a great time. And listeners and viewers, thank you for joining our exclusive group chat. Until next time, we're
Have
out.
a good night.
Peace.